guys! So this video is going to be a little bit more serious. I just wanted to explain a little bit more about last night and what happened and what I'm going through, basically. I was born with anemia and thalassemia, minor beta, which is also known as like Mediterranean anemia or Cooley's anemia. Thalassemia is basically my red blood cells are mutated. It's genetic, and instead of them being round, they're more like kind of narrow teardrops, so they hold less oxygen and less nutrients than regular people. Now I have minor, which is very lucky, because if you have major, well, if I had major, I wouldn't be alive anymore. Being born with those two blood conditions led to me developing a heart condition, which is called neurocardiogenic syncope. I've had it for almost 10 years, or at least it's been 10 years since I was officially diagnosed with it. Most of you guys know that I was doing my MSc in Scotland. What I didn't announce was that I wasn't able to complete my MSc. I took my postgraduate diploma and I left. When I was doing my thesis, the amount of stress from it, it led to my heart condition getting much more severe. Stress has a tendency to do that when it comes to illnesses. I ended up in the hospital for a few days, and I was on bed rest for about 3 weeks, and I was unable to complete my thesis. My lecturers did give me the option to complete it part-time here in Japan, but I knew I was going to be working full-time, and I was worried about my stress levels. I didn't want to not be physically able to work with the kids and to do my job to the best of my ability, so I declined that and instead opted to complete my thesis at a later date when my health is a little bit better, and hopefully when I have my Italian citizenship, so then it'll be much less expensive for me to go back and just finish my thesis, finish my master's, and that'll be so nice, but that's neither here nor there. So when I was in Scotland, they put me on a medication. For the last 10 years, I've just been handling my neurocardiogenic syncope with lifestyle changes. You might have noticed in a lot of videos in more of the like hot weather, like Greece, Italy, and things like that, you can see I'm wearing these weird thigh-high stockings that are not attractive at all. Those are compression stockings, and those are to raise my blood pressure, oddly enough. Basically, my heart condition is not life-threatening, but it definitely impacts my life. When I did my undergraduate, I was actually studying criminal justice and crime scene investigation. Because of my heart condition, I found out that I wasn't able to do any cardio, so I wasn't able to pursue that as a career, unfortunately, because you have to really go through the police academy or FBI academy or something first, and they have certain physical requirements that I was unable to meet. But then I went into conservation, and I was really excited about conservation, and I thought that this could be really good. But then I did 2 weeks up in Dundragon, which is about 10 minutes outside of Loch Ness, and that was amazing. And I have some footage of that I still haven't shared with you guys, because it was supposed to be 3 weeks. And it was supposed to be me completing this study on the ecology of wild boar up in that area, specifically on the Bracken and Bracken Heights in that area. I was physically unable to continue collecting samples. I got to the point where I was having heart palpitations and I was getting very close to passing out a few times. So as much as it hurt my pride, I had to quit that one early. Basically what happens is that my blood pressure is so low and my blood is so thin, and I have low levels of oxygen and I have low levels of nutrients. So I get very, very tired very easily, and sometimes my heart has a very difficult time pumping the blood to my brain. So I end up passing out from the lack of oxygen. And after I pass out, it's not just like, oh, I pass out and then I'm okay. I get incredibly weak, and there's all these other things that happen that makes it so that I basically can't function for at least a few days after I pass out. Sometimes I get what's called brain fog, where my brain isn't getting enough oxygen to really think properly, which is very frustrating, especially for someone that's, kind of academically minded like myself. All of these things for me are at the moderate level. They are not at the severe level. They can be much, much worse. I don't want to worry anybody while I was in Scotland, while it was accelerating and getting worse and worse, I met with a new doctor, and she recommended that I go on a medication. And I've been avoiding medications for it, but I decided that that was a really good idea, because what if this could solve all of those issues and make it so that I could have the career that I really want. She told me that if this medication was effective and, it raises my blood pressure so that I wouldn't have to worry about passing out anymore, that I would just be on it for the rest of my life. And I said, okay, let's try it. I've never tried medication to treat this, and let's give it a go. I tried it, and then when we first arrived in Japan, I noticed that I was having some side effects. I didn't even make the connection that they were due to the medication. Joe knows me better than I know myself most times. So he's the one that made the connection that I wasn't just incredibly homesick, and that's why I was crying all the time, that one of the side effects of the medication was depression. And so I was going through that. Obviously I didn't want to mention that in any of my videos, because I try to make my videos really light and really happy. Unlike now, it's just difficult when mentally you want to do something and you want to keep going, but physically you're unable to do so. And especially with an invisible illness, it's very frustrating, because other people, when I go hiking and I'm taking a while and I'm struggling because I'm not getting enough oxygen, and other people are just passing and they see somebody that looks perfectly healthy and they just think that maybe I'm lazy or incredibly out of shape or something along those lines. And sometimes I wish I just had like a badge on me that says, I have an issue that I'm dealing with right now, just be aware. So try not to judge people, you don't know what they're going through. So after Joe realized that the side effects were from the medication, and we looked up the side effects, and everything checked out, I went to a cardiologist a couple of times here, and I discussed that I would like to get off the medication. So yesterday I was at a hospital meeting with a really hardcore specialist for heart issues, because my regular cardiologist didn't feel confident enough helping me to ease off of this medication, because it basically, what I didn't know is that your body gets completely dependent on it. And there was one time where I just accidentally forgot to take it, and a couple hours later the withdrawal symptoms were terrible. Yesterday at the hospital, the doctor told me that he wants me to try taking it every other day. And I told him that that made me really scared because of the fact that I forgot to do it that one time, and that the symptoms were really bad. But those bad symptoms were mostly mental. Like I just immediately slipped into an incredibly severe depression. And last night I tried skipping a night. He said, if you don't have work the next day, like try it and just see. And I took off yesterday and today to spend the day with Hugo. So the reason that I couldn't finish my video last night is because I skipped the medication, and a little over a half an hour later, we were out in the parking lot. Hugo had a smoky cigarette. We had just gotten back from dinner, and so we're hanging out there, and I couldn't stand up straight because I had this pain in my stomach. It wasn't my stomach, it was my abdominal area, but on the left side. And it hurt so much I couldn't stand up straight, but I was a little bit embarrassed. I didn't want Hugo to see me in pain or whatever, so I just said, oh, my stomach's just not feeling too well. So Hugo, Joe, and I came back up here, and we were hanging out, and I was trying to edit the footage, and I was trying to ignore the pain, and I figured maybe I just ate something that didn't agree with my stomach or something like that. So I excused myself to go to the toilet, but I was actually just laying on the floor last night because it wasn't that same type of pain that I was like going to be like physically ill or anything like that. So after a while I messaged Joe, and I said, don't tell Hugo, because I was so embarrassed. I said, don't tell Hugo, but I'm in a ton of pain on the left side of my abdomen. I keep getting these really severe sharp pains to the point where I can't even breathe. At some point I would want to scream, but I couldn't scream because I couldn't even get the oxygen to breathe, and then the pain got so severe that I started heaving from it. And so I was getting really scared that something was really wrong. Joe starts messaging me saying that he's looking at the side effects of stopping taking the medication too suddenly. and one of them was acute pancreatitis. So that's what happened last night. Joe basically made me take the medication again, and he looked up that it takes about a half hour to 40 minutes for it to enter your bloodstream and completely circulate the body. And yeah, that's a half hour, 40 minutes later. He didn't even tell me that that's the amount of time. He was just watching and monitoring because he thought if it's longer than that, then he's going to call an ambulance and I'm going to get to a hospital, you know. So about a half hour later, he was holding me in the bathroom, and I was saying, you know, that it was easing up and I was starting to feel better, and he just got so upset because it was the medication that was causing it. I'm still going to try to do Vlogmas, but me trying to get off of this medication may cause some issues, and I'm so sorry. And I know Vlogmas is supposed to be like really fun and lighthearted, and I wanted this to be so casual, to talk about that I have this illness, but that it's okay, and that I'm still doing all of these amazing things, and it is okay, and I am doing all of these amazing things. But this medication, man, this is hardcore. So after the pain eased up, I tried continuing to edit because I'm stupid and stubborn, but it just wasn't possible, unfortunately. I'm still in pain today, but we decided that if it starts getting bad again, then we'll go to the hospital. I don't know how much it would be to go to the hospital here, or how much like an ambulance is. In Scotland it would be free, so yeah, I'd probably be at the hospital right now. But in America, if you get an ambulance, it's like $500 to $800 just for the ambulance ride to the hospital. That's why last night I was like, no, we can't do it. So I'm so sorry that this video is a bit more serious. I didn't intend for it to be. It's just that unfortunately something very serious happened last night, and it may continue to affect Vlogmas, and I am so sorry about that. I'm trying really hard, and you guys are wonderful, and you're so understanding, and like I'm really enjoying doing this. Like I feel like I'm sharing more about myself, and I'm learning more about you guys, and it's been really great. So I don't want to stop, and I'm still trying to get a video out every single day. But yeah, so now I'm behind on videos, so I apologize about that. So thank you for watching, and thank you for caring to watch. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'm feeling better. We have plans for Saturday. If I'm still in pain, obviously I can't do that because it was going to be hiking like in this beautiful area with all this fall foliage, and I wanted to share how beautiful Japan is in the fall with you guys. We were taking a train. I'm hoping that we can still do that, so we'll find out. So will Sunny and Joe be able to go see fall foliage and go hiking tomorrow? Find out next time on Sunny Travels! Yeah!